Hi and welcome to my vlog. So this morning I received a picture in my inbox of a gorgeous African woman who was carrying on her back a toddler, and she was multitasking. She was cooking, cleaning, washing dishes and clothes. She played the role of a teacher, a dentist, a doctor. She was a representation of a true African woman. And just below that image, the sender indicates that this is how she sees me, and she would love to follow in my footsteps one day. Now, just because I've received similar comments a number of times, I felt the importance to make this video and tell you more about myself. One of the important things that people tend to ignore on that image is the overwhelming feeling on the face of that woman. It's a fatigue she feels. And I know one or two things about it because that was me a few years ago. I almost hit depression. You see, that picture has been going around for quite a number of years on social media, particularly during Mother's Day. We use a picture to showcase the African culture, to applaud the sacrifices made by women on a day-to-day basis. But to some extent, I believe that people use it to kind of show how things should be. For anyone who knows me, I try for perfection. And before getting married, I had in my mind an idea of what the perfect marriage would be like. I wanted to be the perfect wife and the perfect mother. And for people who have been married for long enough, you know that we can never be perfect, because there is no perfect woman. And there is definitely no superwoman. You see, when we got married, my husband was not comfortable living in the house. He wanted his space. And so we had a day bag who used to come to the house at 8 and she would leave at 5 p.m. So any other chores was literally divided between my husband and I. My husband would wake up every day at 5 to prepare our eldest to school. And that is because I was up the whole night taking care of our two last born, who were just 1 year apart. So I would come back from the office, and I used to manage 2 different organizations. I would come back from the office, I would cook for my husband, I will help the children with their homework, I would study because I used to do my master's online, and I would feed our children. And for anyone who have toddlers or young ones, you know that it takes about 2 hours to feed them and another hour to put them to bed. So by the time the day ends, you are exhausted. Unfortunately, this was not the case one day or for 2 weeks. It was our day-to-day, every single day. Eventually, it affected my mood, it affected our relationships. I can't count the number of times where my husband would speak to me at night and I would fall completely asleep because I was exhausted. The turning point came one day when I was at the office, and the thought of going back home was overwhelming. It brought such sadness in my heart. I did not want to be home. So I went online. I booked myself a ticket to Mombasa because I love the beach. I drove home, packed my stuff, and took a flight for 2 weeks. I left my husband and the children for 2 weeks. You see, one of the things that people tend to ignore is that if a woman is unhappy, the husband is unhappy, the children are unhappy, and you are creating a toxic environment. But when the woman is happy, the husband and the children are happy, and you live in a very peaceful environment. And I needed to go back and find out what happened to me. Why was that I was all the time moody? So those 2 weeks were a moment that helped me clarify quite a number of things. Because I prayed, and I prayed. I spent my time in God's presence. I spent my time looking back at my life. I spent my time strategizing on the future. And I came back home. I had a discussion with my husband, and we decided to finally hire a living domestic manager. And this completely, totally changed my life. I still do the same thing. I still go home and cook for my husband. I still help the children with homework when I can. But now the difference is I don't have to rush home every single day. I now have the time after work to go to the gym and have me time. If I want to, I can attend networking events. I can call one of my girls and we go for coffee or dinner. I can take care of myself. And that makes me happier. So if you're a woman watching me today and you are striving for perfection, take it from another perfect woman. That perfection will never come. You are not perfect. You are not superwoman. So accept yourself the way you are. Accept the fact that you are a limited being. And ask for help. Again, as you ask for help, remember it is just help. As a mother, your role, you still play a critical role in the life of your children, of your husband, and they all need to feel the presence of a woman there. Remember, it is just help. But your role is still important. So play your role, but remember, you are not superwoman.